guys, welcome back to Sister Sis. Nice to have you join us again. Today, Charlie and I are going to talk about the difference between a soulmate and a soul tie, and what it actually means to want that, to look for that, and if you encounter that, where to go with it. I mean,
Yeah. Basically, there's a big misconception about soulmates. A lot of people are out here looking for their one soulmate for their life or for that one person, when in actual fact it's very possible to have more than one soulmate throughout your life at different parts of your life and for different reasons.
So I suppose that when you're in a different part of your journey and you need to sort of move forward, or you need more challenge in your life, or to move to a different space within yourself, that person might look differently from the soulmate you required maybe when you were younger, or when you were in a different point mentally.
Definitely, because I think sometimes in relationships people can often grow apart. So if you've grown apart from the person that you were with, clearly you then may be aligned with somebody else, with somebody else's energy. Not that there's anybody sort of out there prospectively, but your energy is now going to align with a different type of person through the growth that you've had. Obviously, as you said, soulmates usually come into your life to make you dig deeper, whether it's spiritually, whether it's for your career, whether it's just you as a person. But there's also this thing where people think it's all love and light. A lot of the time, a soulmate will come into your life, they will trigger you. They will trigger you to do the shadow work, to address things that you have buried deep, the emotions, the physical trauma from growing up, from past relationships, all of these things. But it's not to be done for harm.
So it's different from a trauma tie then?
Yeah, basically, a soulmate is there to trigger these things to get you to finally heal, to then move to the next phase.
How would you then know the difference between a trauma tie then and
a trauma bond, you don't always know the difference. It's for you to be discerning. A lot of the time, a trauma bond is that you have things in common. You've both had things that you, whether it's deaths, sort of negative things happen in your past, and you tend to kind of gravitate towards somebody else who can empathise with those things because they've been through it too. What you're bonding over is the trauma. You're not bonding over your energy. And then you've got soul ties. Soul ties are more of like energy entanglements. You can have chemistry, there could be physical, wow, fireworks and all the rest of it. But what you'll find is that is literally just an energy entanglement. It's a soul tie. Yes, that person was destined to come into your life, but it's not necessarily a soul mate. The soul mate is going to get you to do the work that you need to do to elevate you. It's not just about them. A soul tie may be that that person wants a physical gain from you. Your energies are entangled. There's chemistry and it feels like, yeah, wow, this might be the one for me. But if they're not triggering you in a good way to do certain things, you have to know the difference, especially when you're playing with your own soul and other people's.
You definitely have to protect your energy in all cases, and I suppose whether it's a soul tie, a trauma bond, if things become toxic and detrimental to you, to your health, your mental health, your well-being, then it's time to reevaluate what you're doing and why you're with
We've also spoken about energy exchange before. We know I've used the term STD, not in terms of clinical naturally transmitted disease, but more of a spiritually transferable disease. It's very possible if you get with someone who is depressed, who is dealing with anxiety, who's dealing with trauma, if they've done nothing to meditate, to cleanse their aura or their energy, the moment you exchange energies with that person, you are picking up all the stuff that they are going through or have gone through. I'm talking past exes, everything.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, like slightly off script, but then do you think you transfer the people, the partner's energies that you've been with previously to something else, to something new?
If you've not done the work to cleanse your aura, if you've not done the work to address these things, they are hurtful. They come up, like if you've been, I think we've spoken about before, if you've been cheated on or you've been lied to, it brings up emotions from that very moment or from that situation that you don't want to have to address. But if you keep them very deep down below, they are never going to get addressed. You're just going to keep carrying that baggage to the next person and the next person and the next person. Yes, none of these things are nice to go through, being lied to, being deceived.
I suppose it goes back to what we always go back to, is healing. Whichever journey you've been on, once you've got to a point, you need to address what you've been through, finish that, bag it up, put it to the side, and then be able to move forward and stuff, right?
Definitely, and no one's expecting anybody to be perfect going into whatever situations. Everybody's perfectly imperfect. But being willing to do the work, getting with someone who you are both willing to do the work individually and together is the best way to move forward.
Great, it's great advice, thank you. And I think it does come to communication again, being reflective. If you're with someone who's reflective enough to take that journey with you, whether they get off at a certain point or stay with you, and that it's possible to have soulmates in your life. You're not looking for this one person to complete your journey with you for the whole way, but to help you, to push you, motivate you, inspire you to go somewhere else.
You may not end up long term with the person that you're classing as your soulmate or the person that you're currently with, however the label situation is. But what they leave you with then, if it's not going to work out, is they're leaving you with the lessons, they're leaving you with the tools to still do the work before embarking on somebody else. So no matter what, whether it works out, doesn't work out, your soulmate is going to come with lessons for you and leave with lessons for themselves, because they too will learn something in that journey. But yeah, it's very important to know the difference between a soul tie and a soulmate. Ties are going to happen all the time, entanglements, chemistry, attractions, lust, passion, all these things. But you have to know what you're investing your soul into. If it's something you want to work with, if it's something you need to work on, you have to know the difference.
And I suppose if people are trying to harness that, manifest, finding their person, it would be a great opportunity to do that right now, as we're in Lionsgate portal.
Definitely.
It's a perfect opportunity to manifest those kind of positive
tap
energies
into your divine feminine energy. And when we talk about feminine energy, we're not talking about women, we're talking about feminine energy, because remember, everybody has masculine and feminine energy in them. So we're talking about tapping into your affection and your emotions, seeing where you as a man or a woman need to dig deeper within yourself to be able to give more of yourself without harming yourself, but allowing yourself to be vulnerable. We've said it before, vulnerability isn't weakness. Vulnerability takes so much strength to let your guard down and be able to talk about things, your innermost things that make you who you are, takes a huge amount of strength. When you have found somebody that you can be comfortable enough to be open with, appreciate the gift that you have and do the work.
I suppose again that's down to gratitude, to find someone who you could be open with, you can do reflection together and reflection separately and come together and just enhance each other's lives. I suppose that's what we're all out here wanting or looking for. And
definitely still be tactful though, even if you're on a learning journey, a growth journey, whatever it may be, you're starting to do introspection and reflection. Remember that the person that you're with, whether it's friend, family, partner, lover, whatever, they don't have to endure all the negative that you might project whilst you're going through this journey. You still have to be considerate of the other person. They may be triggering you, they may be raw emotions you don't want to address, but still look at the bigger picture, look at why this is happening.
There's so much food for thought there, and thank you for sharing all your insight and all your knowledge on soulmates versus soul ties, or the difference between them, and hopefully that's helped you guys on your journey to progress to what you actually need, someone who's going to challenge you, to help you grow, to help you learn how to love again if you haven't already. So from Sister Sis, take care of yourselves, love and love hard.